All right, welcome to week 3. We're trudging our way toward midterm already. I know it seems like we haven't been doing this very long, but we're almost halfway. This week, we're moving on from the research proposal assignment onto the annotated bibliography. We're going to take 2 weeks for the annotated bibliography because, well, A, it's a huge point assignment, and B, it's quite an undertaking. It takes a lot of time and a lot of effort, so for the next 2 weeks, we'll be focusing mostly on that. As it says here in the little summary, just a suggestion, please try to find your sources as early as possible. Don't put that off, because writing the annotated bibliography is going to take a long time. Most of the time, annotated bibliographies that get turned in are somewhere between 15 and 17 pages long. So it's going to take you a while. In terms of goals for this week, you've already brushed up on MLA. We're excited for your research proposal probably, but we're going to do a little bit more on that. And we're going to talk about how to write your annotations. So there's this video that you're watching right now. Good job. There's also an annotated bibliography guidelines video. Please watch that before you go too much farther into the week. There's a folder this week with a bunch of documents in it. Please make sure to look at all of those documents. Those documents are here. So if you click on this folder, it has several important documents in it. Please take time to download and review all of those so that you're familiar with the annotated bibliography and what's going on. The assignment sheet is in that, but it's also here, just in case you want it a little quicker. There's some things about sources. There's also this Keys for Writers tutorial video. This is a video that I made a while ago, like 2 years ago, and since then, MLA has changed. It has updated, so you'll notice that some of the things in the tutorial seem a little different, but the tutorial is still fine because really what it does is teaches you how to use your textbook. So that's the point of this tutorial, is not necessarily so much how to do MLA. It's more how to use your textbook as a resource to make sure that you have the format down. So do take a look at that, even though it's dated. The requirements for sources is back again. Make sure you take another look at that before you go too much farther. And then please really pay attention to this how to write an annotated bibliography page. This video is really helpful. Then the transcript is here, and it really just gives you a lot of good information about how to write an annotated bibliography. These annotations, this is exactly how I want you to do it. So make sure you're using that wisely. There's also an annotated bibliography parts explained, and this is essential reading. So your annotations, there are samples for you that you can see in other documents, but this one kind of breaks down each part of the annotation. So each annotation has 3 parts. The first part is a summary. It's not very long. Then you also have to have an evaluation of the source, and then a value statement. So the summary is kind of straightforward. What's the main idea, key subpoints, and the takeaway? I'm sure you've written a summary before. It's similar to one that you've written before, I'm sure. The evaluation is a little bit more critical. You should be able to say, is it reliable? How do you know? You should be able to point to very specific things to say if it's reliable or not. And don't be afraid to say, I'm really questioning the reliability of this, so maybe I won't use it. That's perfectly valid. But in this part, you should show me what you know about evaluating sources. And then the value statement, this is very specific to you. This is something that will help you out. So being as specific as possible is really key to helping you build your paper. So this is, where are you going to use it in your paper? Why will you use it in your paper? What will it help you support? The more specific you can be about this, the easier it will be to kind of piece together all the parts and see where your sources are going to go. So make sure to take a look at that. You should take a look at all of this stuff, of course, before you do your peer review. So you're going to post some annotations for peer review this week in the collaborative forum. When you give feedback on those, make sure that you're giving constructive and critical feedback, but of course be nice about it. The other thing that you have to do this week is to acknowledge the comments, my feedback on your research proposal. So you have to go back into that research proposal, take a look at my written feedback, not just the grade, but the actual written feedback, and then acknowledge those in some very specific ways. So this gives you the assignment. Address any specific questions I asked and provide an overall sense of how you plan to proceed, things like that. So if you need to make any changes, all of that stuff, that's what you should put in that acknowledgement. You can also give me any questions you've got. I'll read through these and get back to you. If you have any questions, I'll answer them for you. So this week seems like a light week, but it's really not, because you have to be really going hard getting those sources ready, making sure that you've read them all, you're ready to go, and as soon as you can start writing that annotated bibliography, the better, because like I said, it's going to take you a while. If you have any questions, let me know via Remind or via email. I won't have office hours this week, so if you need to get a hold of me, please do so either via Remind or email. Have a good week. See you next week.